Hello, Namaskar. You're watching BTTV. This is Market Today. I'm Tanya, Aneja, and with me is Bhatnagar, our markets editor. Well, bulls are in action on the Lal Street on Monday. But where are the pockets of opportunities and what should be your strategy? We'll discuss this. But first, let's quickly take a market check and see what the markets are doing in today's trading session when it's clearly a sea of green on the Lal Street today, 19,379. That's the level on Nifty, 148 points uptick there. Nifty Bank also doing pretty well in today's trading session, 43,597. That's the level on Nifty Bank, 279 points uptick there as well. Mid caps and small caps, they continue to outperform. And how the Nifty mid cap and small cap both up around 1% and trading at day's high. If we look at some of the gainers, Aisha Motors, Hero Motocorp, some of the auto names which are among the top gainers for you in today's trading session, trading at 2%, 2 to 3% higher in today's trading session. L&T, Bajaj Finance, some of the other gainers for you. And on the flip side, if you see the top losers, we have Titan as the top loser. We have HUL and SBI after the numbers. And this is despite a good set of numbers coming in from this bank. But we have Cipla and HDFC Life also that are among the top losers for you. But coming to you, Shail, now, what a solid day for the Indian markets.
Good afternoon, Tanya, and a very warm welcome to thousands of viewers who are now continuously joining us on this lovely day. And of course, this is a refurbished market today that you're watching as the closing 1 hour of trade. So the stocks that we are going to discuss in the morning show between 8:30 and 10 will be revisited upon when we come back to you between 2:30 and 3:30 on a regular basis. Tanya, good afternoon to you. And of course, let's look at something very exciting that we had talked about in the morning. I'll begin with two charts. It's the Nifty 75-minute chart on a regular basis, and of course the Nifty 15-minute chart. Once we see them on the screen, you'll realize the strength of the market, and this strength in the market is likely to accelerate further. This is the 15-minute chart as far as the Nifty is concerned over the last 3 days. Any intraday dip here, as you can make out, is getting constantly purchased, and the lines that you see which are a different color in front of you point to strong support levels which keep on building at different points of time. They match with the options chain as well. The next chart that you'll see is the 75-minute chart on the Nifty, and then we'll show you the most important screen of the day, which we had discussed at 9:15, 9:17 early in the morning. This is a 75-minute chart, and extreme, let's just say decent strength coming into the Nifty as far as the long side trades are concerned. And now we'll shift to the Nifty 19,300 call for the current weekly expiry that we had discussed today morning at about 103 rupees. It will come in front of you in a moment. This was discussed with Brijesh L at somewhere like 104, 105 rupees, and at the moment you see it trading at about 141.60, about a 70% rise from the morning price. Given the strength that we see in the charts, this is something that requires your attention, and over a period of time we'll continuously keep on giving you such wonderful data backed by, of course, very strong technical and optional parameters. This is how the markets are supposed to be read, and between now and the morning at 9:15 the price has moved somewhere like 30-35 rupees. So 103 was when we caught it, 141 it is, and things are getting better and better. We'll keep a track on this, but a good time as any to welcome Vinit Bolinjkar, Head of Research, Ventura Securities. Good morning, Vinit. Good afternoon, Vinit. Welcome to Market Today on Business Today Television. Your view on State Bank of India earnings, and then we'll go to the market.
Absolutely stellar numbers, and as expected, and more so to do with the asset quality being, the best of its since 2008. And if you see the kind of performance that has come in with the credit growth that they've reported, and the subsidiaries which are the financialization trend, I think this stock which has been a laggard for 6 months is just only waiting to explode to the upside. However, it's very difficult to time this because it's just been in a listless performance over specifically the last 2 months.
Fair point. And what do you think of market sentiment on Dalal Street? This is the week which is the beginning of Diwali festivities. A strong opening today, and the last 2 days have also been good for the bulls. Are things quiet and calm on Dalal Street as far
So,
as bulls
just
are concerned?
stepping back and taking a little view of the geopolitical situation, you will find that the Israeli in their attack have, split Gaza into two parts, that is north and the west, south, and they have effective control over there. Now they'll be mopping up all the tunnels so that, to deactivate and neutralize all the terror aspects. Having said that, the Ukraine war is also going one way, and it is in the Russia's way, and there is a growing antipathy to the war scenario even from the Europeans. So, given all these kind of trends, it seems that the war cycle is kind of ebbing. And having said that, barring for any unforeseen activities by other Islamic jihadist groups in the Arab world, if everything were to remain in control, which we expect, then the markets can really do very well. So we expect Nifty and the Bank Nifty to do perform very strongly, and I'm looking for a very, very strong close into December.
Okay, absolutely got that. And Shail, remember we discussed RT Industries in the morning trade, and let's pull up the stock for you and see what the stock is doing in the afternoon trading session. We have seen a stellar run up in the morning trade, and I would request my PCR team to pull up that stock, RT Industries, and then we'll take Mr. Bolinjkar's view also on this particular stock. But coming to you, Mr. Bolinjkar, for RT Industries only, we discussed this stock in the morning trade, and good amount of volumes and also price action we saw in the morning. But what are your thoughts when it comes to RT Industries?
I have a little contra view against the street, and I believe that the entire chemical industrial complex is a good value pick from current levels. And my reasoning for the same is that, a lot of destocking that was to happen has already happened. And now the restocking is taking place, and we expect things to do better. One more thing that is there is a strong trend playing out is the uh, disintermediation of the chain. So, the middlemen are being eliminated, and the market is moving to a more steady kind of pricing environment, which is going to be quite benign. And that augurs well for the cycle to pick up. So we believe that Aarti being one of the large players with a very, very strong vertical kind of dominance is expected to exceedingly well in the coming days.
PCR, let's do a sound check.
Okay, absolutely. And by the way, RT Industries is up 10%, and Street is clearly liking the second quarter numbers. And I think the Street is liking the management positive commentary and improved sequential performance. 10% uptick there on this particular stock. But talking about Indigo as well, Mr. Bolinjkar, the company came with their second quarter earnings, and the profit came in at 188 odd crore rupees in the second quarter, and that is against the loss of 1583 odd crore rupees a year in the same quarter last year. So what are your thoughts on Indigo, and where is this stock headed according to you?
So, just add up a few things. India has got the best industrial trends as far as passenger traffic is concerned. We have got one of the tightest supply market that could ever be in a market. With practically just a duopoly with Tata's and Indigo, servicing this market. There are other players. And the most important thing is that is going to happen is the reintroduction of international routes to Indian players in 24. So a lot of these were given to the Emirates and the other international players way back during the UPA rule, and they're coming up for rebidding in 2024. And there's every intention that will be given priority to the local players. So, given this kind of profitable route matrix that will be added to their existing offering, I believe that from here, with the turnaround and oil prices also being benign, I think we have got a kind of tailwinds playing out for this company, and this stock should do really, really do well going ahead.
Fair point. Let's just also look at how prices other than the stocks that we've discussed are moving. I see a lot of momentum coming into Zomato. Remember, this is a stock that Tanya picked up right in the morning. At that point of time, the price was about 119. At the moment, 122. And what's really, really interesting is the kind of volume that we've seen on this particular counter. When you look at the NSE 500 subsection, you look at a lot of block deals happening on Zomato. The latest one is at about 1,36,000 shares, then 1,15,000. Somewhere like 10 lakh shares have been traded over the last 10 odd minutes, and the volume today is somewhere like 1 crore 45 lakh shares. Your views, Vinit, on how do you see Zomato post the earnings that they announced 2 or 3 days ago?
So, if you ask me, Zomato is my favorite top pick in the market these days among the consumption stories. And that stems from the fact that, Dunzo, which was expected to be promoted by Reliance, backed by Reliance, and to be a veritable competition, is kind of now being sidelined. ONDC has been a non-starter. And if you see, the company has broken even, come to profitability. The duopolies persists, substantial cash on books, and most important is the IRCTC pilot that they're doing in 8-9 cities. Okay, if that proves to be successful, which I think should be, then I think they would have got one very, very big customer in IRCTC, and the stock will really, really ramp up. I'm extremely positive. Blinkit turnaround and added positive, and all these are making Zomato hit the frenzy in the market where it becomes a buy at any price kind of stock.
Well, Vinit, we'll keep this enthusiasm of yours in mind. And over the last 2 or 3 sessions, the stock has moved from 103 to about 122, and there is no let up in the volume. So, given that background, and of course, how you mentioned, let's see how it goes. The all-time high on the counter is about 169, and over the last 7-8 months, each month, the stock has given a positive close. So, it's a consistently higher highs and higher lows on the charts. Started at about 47 rupees and now about 122 on the charts. What else is moving that should gain attention? I think today sugar stocks are doing very well. Let's look at the stack of sugar companies from Balrampur Chini. It's the sweetness in the market that is adding to enthusiasm. 430.85 as far as Balrampur Chini is concerned. Triveni is doing very well at the moment. Triveni Engineering at 336. Stocks like Bajaj Hindustan, stocks like Vishwaraj, stocks like Sri Renuka Sugars, all of them are at the moment doing a pretty good job as far as markets are concerned. Would you have any favorites here, Vinit, on the sugar space?
The sugar space, my inclination is towards Sri Renuka. They have a very, very strong capacity play in terms of ethanol, and I think it's best placed to take off from here given all the fundamentals that we've spoken about.
Okay,
Bharat
one
Forge is
point
also one of the top gainers, Shell, and the company actually has reported numbers. If you see, it reported 29% growth in its net profit to 346 odd crore rupees, and that's actually driven by a strong top line growth and operational performance. What would be your advice on Bharat Forge, Mr. Bolinjkar?
So, while Bharat Forge is a very, very great story, we think that the valuations are a little rich. And given that kind of thing, we would prefer to play Ramkrishna Forgings. We believe that stock offers better growth opportunities at reasonable valuations.
Okay, Ramkrishna Forging is trading at about 677.50, and over the last 5 or 6 trading sessions, it's really moved up sharply. Bharat Forge, on the other hand, at about 1069, is consolidating near record highs, and that's how both these counters are moving. Coming back to Sri Renuka Sugars, not many people realize that this is a sugar MNC, and it has a very, very strong capacity on the ethanol side, something which is driving the entire sugar space, whether it's Bajaj Hindustan, whether it's Balrampur Chini, Triveni Sugars, or a whole host of counters that are moving pretty strongly. So that's Bharat Forge, RK Forging, as well as how should I say, Triveni Sugar. But there's no let up in Zomato. Again, a very, very large block deal happening for somewhere like 3 plus 1, 4.5 lakh shares at 123.25, 123.50. We'll keep a view on this as far as markets are concerned, but nice traction coming in. The other favorite stock of the market, which is doing pretty well, Vinit, is Patanjali, now at about 14.30 and moving fairly strongly over the last 2 odd weeks, from 1200 to 1412. Would you have a view on this one?
So we don't track it in great detail, but generally, we expect the rural economy to do far better, and Patanjali should do well as a fallout of that.
Okay, this is the most recent high that you've seen on Patanjali. At the moment, the counter is trading somewhere like 1400, and the previous high, the most, and after the shift of the present management, which means that the company had actually changed hands. Let me tell you what that price is, because it seems that there is a breakout in store. So that was somewhere like September of 2022, when the price was 1444. At the moment at 1412. Let's see what the future holds for Patanjali, but the move has been pretty strong. What else are you watching, Tanya?
Shall I'm watching IOC. Remember, you pointed that out in the morning market today show, and it is up 3% as we speak. And
Yes.
I want to come to you, Mr. Bolinjkar, for IOC. The stock is up 3%. 98 is the level where we are at. And if you see the numbers on bottom line, the bottom line growth was well ahead the estimates, but revenue for the quarter stood at 1.8 lakh crore rupees, and revenue missed estimates. So, what are your thoughts on IOC, and where is the stock headed according to you?
See, I think, one thing is, being commodity companies, the revenues can overshoot, undershoot estimates because they are very volatile in nature. But the EBITDA per unit can remain quite static. And that is what is leading to the increase in the numbers. So the EBITDA came in better, the margins were better, and the results, profits were ahead of estimates. And it's a slow moving counter, and not one that you should be trading into, but like holding a positional trade on this for a little longish period, 3 to 4 years, and the steady transition of the company to green energy company over a period of time is what is we are going to see play out. You are catching this company at a very, very very, very cheap valuations, and would recommend investing in this company from a slightly 3 to 4 year kind of period.
And we should also, I think, pull up Bank of Baroda. This stock is in focus after the numbers, and the bank posted 20% rise in its net profit at 4,253 odd crore rupees. And Street clearly not liking the numbers. 195 is the level where we are at this point in time. What would be your advice, Mr. Bolinjkar, for Bank of Baroda?
Yeah, so the numbers were a little disappointing, but I still am a buyer of the PSU banking space, and Baroda continues to be one of the quality names that we would like to be invested into.
And is
So we
there
would
any
be
other quality name that you would like to suggest from the PSU banking space?
so we like Canara Bank, and our favorite is Bank of Maharashtra.
Shell, we have been discussing PSUs as well, and how these selective stocks from the PSU space, defense, railways, and some of the other PSUs, they have been performing really well and have had a stellar run. But any stocks that are on your radar from the PSU space, Mr. Bulinjkar, that you would like to recommend?
So we like BHEL a lot, and we
Okay.
think that it is going to be a very, very strong, good long-term play on the back of multiple tailwinds. You will talk of defense, railways, power, thermal, capital goods, engineering. It's a veritable concoction of all these verticals that are seeing strong tailwinds, and this stock has done well, but it has a very, very long way to go, and especially in the thermal power segment. It is surely got a monopoly due to the lack of other people participating in the space. So we really like this stock a lot.
Okay, Tanya, let's do a nice check on the same option call that I had suggested earlier that we should keep an eye out. This is again the Nifty 19300 call of weekly expiry 9th November. At the moment, trading at about 138.50. Lots of technical things coming together, and this should now move up fairly strongly, given that we have about 34 minutes of trade left. So do mark the price, ladies and gentlemen, on your diary. This is of course not a trade to be suggested. We'll get Vaishali in fairly soon, and then she'll do a technical check, but a bit of a support coming in at these levels, and let's see where it is headed. Even the Nifty at about 19,383 is at its day's high, up about 152 points, and the tailwind is fairly strong. You have L&T at day's high, ONGC at day's high, Axis Bank, Britannia, Asian Paints, all of these counters showing a pretty strong traction. And let's see whether this call moves up from 138 rupees or not. And this is how options are sort of positioned at the moment. I'll give you a very nice brief. A huge amount of short covering is happening in this particular option. The open interest is now actually decreasing by about 6.63 lakhs. Let's see whether you can see it on the screen or not. Yes, that's how it is. The change in open interest is negative, which basically means that all those bears who had taken positions that this call will fall are now squaring up their transactions. Then that in itself gives you a sign that things will improve for the better. So do keep in mind the price of about 138. Let's see what it is 10-15 minutes from now. But on a day's high is Bharat Forge, which Tanya pointed out, 1088. The previous high was 1048, moving fairly strongly here. Good moves coming in on Jindal Steel and Power. Remember, this was a counter that had moved fairly sharply on a downward trajectory. I think it was 10% lower because of earnings that had disappointed the market. Now at day's high, 618 rupees. Would you have a view on metal space, Vinit? And anything that you can add on Jindal Steel and Power? 618 for you.
So I think steel is in a very strong cycle, and Jindal Steel is one of the stocks which is expected to do extremely well. Apart from this, one stock which is off the radar right now, which is consolidated very well, is Lloyd Metals. We have spoken about this earlier on some of your shows. We like this stock a lot, and we think that this stock can double from current levels over the next 12 to 18 months.
Which one did you mention, sir? I'm
Lloyd
sorry,
Metal.
I didn't catch
Lloyd
the
Metal.
name.
Lloyd Metal.
Yes, of course. Yes, you had mentioned the capacity expansion that was coming in from internal accruals, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
This was a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay, at least my memory serves me right. So Lloyd is something that we
Lloyd
keep an
Metals,
eye out
not
on.
Lloyd
That is,
Steels.
of course, on the cash segment, but strong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lloyd Metals. Absolutely. Let's look at how the options picture for Jindal Stainless JNSP is there at the moment. I'm hoping that the monthly option chain of Jindal Steel and Power is something which our PCR can show to you, and it's the 620 call that I would be interested in. This is now at about 16 rupees, up 8 rupees already. But this is something to be looked at on the long side. We'll get Vaishali in a while, and let's see how it moves. We've seen a price of 46 on this one some time ago, but Jindal Steel and Power at about 620 call. Let's see the PCR if they can fire it, and then we'll take a call. It's about 100 and it's at trading at about 16 rupees. We'll take a look at it a little later, but you may want to visit the 19300 call that we showed you fairly 2 or 3 minutes ago. Yes, PCR, if you can fire the 19300 Nifty call, it's shot up dramatically. That is what I was referring to some time ago. At the moment, at about 143 rupees, it's at its day's high, and you'll see a very sharp breakout coming in because Nifty has now crossed 19,400, ladies and gentlemen. That's the power of software that you will see coming at markets and market today at the moment on Business Today Television. Nifty at its day's high, now backed up by HDFC Bank. So this is something you need to watch.
Okay, absolutely. And Vaishali is with us now. Vaishali Parekh joins us. She is the VP of Technical Research at Prabhudas Lilladher. Very good afternoon, Vaishali. Always good to have you on BTTV. So let's start with the technical market outlook only. I mean, bulls are back in action, and how? And I want to understand from you now that will this momentum sustain going forward, and what do the technical charts suggest?
Very good afternoon, and thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, so I would definitely say last week we were a bit wobbly. I mean, we were talking about 18,800 under threat. From there, we really started a good up move. And now I would say that, yes, I think we are pretty much out of the woods, and this momentum is likely to continue. I would say we would be heading towards 19,600, 19,650 to start with from here on.
Wonderful. Good morning, Vaishali. You've been a lucky mascot, and good to have you back on screen after a very long while. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you. Today morning we discussed the 19,300 Nifty call ending November 9th at about 103 rupees. Would you just care to look at it technically? What is it telling you at the moment now at about 155?
Which stock are you talking about? Sorry, I missed you.
The Nifty 19,300 call ending on November 9th.
I'm so sorry, I don't have derivative data. I don't look into derivatives.
Oh, okay, not a problem at all. But a lot of strong moves coming in, and that's backed by 3 very good counters. HDFC Bank now at its day's high, contributing 21 points to the Nifty's rise. Reliance at day's high, 1770, and Infosys at its day's high. If these 3 counters are doing pretty well, then there is no chance in hell that bears have a day in. And given the fact that we are already at 3 p.m., the last 27 minutes are going to be very, very exciting as far as short covering is concerned. Do watch 19300 call on the Nifty, which we caught at about 103 rupees and then again at 138. Vaishali, apart from derivatives, what else are you looking at on the long side? What looks good to you on the charts?
So I would say overall, I would be looking at all the frontline stocks to start with HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank, I mean, it's if you see the weekly chart, we saw a good signal right from 1460 levels. There was a good turnaround, and right now also we are seeing the stock coming in momentum. So it's about time that these stocks start participating. So I would look at HDFC Bank from here on. I would look at Maruti from here on. I would look at Infosys. So yes, focus for Nifty to go up. We need to focus on the front line.
Okay, absolutely. And since we are talking about frontliners only, let's discuss SBI also, Vaishali. The bank reported its second quarter numbers, and there we have seen a sharp drop in provision for bad loans and asset quality that has also improved. But clearly, the street is not liking the numbers, and that's why the stock is among the top losers. But what should be the strategy going forward for SBI?
So I would say now SBI has a prominent support at 530, 540 levels. And from there on, we have just seen a one-way rally coming towards 574. So I would say accumulate at every dip, because once we see this stock moving above 590 levels, it would be ready for a target of 620, 640. So I would say accumulation would be the way to go.
Okay,
Fair
absolutely.
point.
Accumulation
And
is the
that is how. Yeah, Tanya, continue.
Shell, since we were discussing about Zomato only, so I thought let's finish Zomato first, because we have been discussing this stock. We discussed it in the morning trade as well, and the momentum continues when it comes to Zomato. Good set of numbers coming in on Zomato, Vaishali. What should be the strategy, and what should be the right buy zone, I would say, for Zomato?
I'm sure everyone would have. It was a very clear indicator last week. In fact, from Friday onwards, we saw a good upward move coming in. So, right from 106, 108, that was the appropriate buying strategy. And I'm sure many of them would have taken advantage of this. And now, when I'm coming back on the weekly chart and all, I think this stock is ready to go towards 140, 150. So, keeping now 105 as the base level, keep buying at every dip. Look for a target of 140, 150.
Okay, that's the price that is on Zomato. Two things I need to point out. The trade as far as the Nifty 19300 call is concerned at the moment seems to be over. The price that you see is somewhere like 149, 150. We've caught it at 138 and 103. So time to book out, because we are already at 306. If you've been into that trade, I'm sure it's been fairly exciting. And 19412 is where the Nifty is at the moment in the cash markets. So that's doing pretty well. Jindal Steel and Power, we had caught it at about 619, 618, now at 621. Vaishali, would you look at Jindal Steel and Power on the charts now after a 10-12% downtick on its earnings day? There seems to be some bottom fishing happening on this counter. A technical view on Jindal Steel and Power?
I would actually definitely agree with you, because it's really tempting to go in to the trade at these levels. So keep a stop loss of 585. And I think the stock has shown signs of bottoming out. And if you see overall the whole metal index, it has taken support on the long-term trend line. And from there on, we saw, of course, it was Hindalco which took the lead. And then it's followed by all the other metal stocks. So I would be bullish on Jindal Steel and Power, JSW Steel, and of course the other non-ferrous stocks also. So yes, it is a good buying opportunity.
Okay, and as far as the PCR is concerned, I'll request it to show the 620 call on Jindal Steel and Power, which is called Jindal Stainless on the FNO at the moment at about 1750. Please keep an eye on it. Any dips on this one should look good on the long side. These are all technical parameters doing phenomenally well on so many charts that I see. So this is something that you need to look at. Any dip towards 15, 14, 13 should be an opportunity to look at it on the long side. Fairly strong moves coming in these markets. The other stock, Vaishali, for you is JK Lakshmi Cement. It was a breakout that had happened on earnings last week at about 790. What are the charts telling you?
I would say yes, it's showing a lot of strength. We've seen an exceptionally high volume, and I think this stock is ready to move towards a target of 820, 850. So yes, it's a positive view.
Okay, absolutely got that. And I think let's pull up Bank of Baroda as well. Vishali, I was discussing it with our fundamental guest, and he was sounding really bullish on this particular stock. The bank reported its numbers, and the street, if you see, is not liking the numbers. The stock is down 4%. 195 is the level where we are at. Would you buy this dip, or should one stay away?
I won't say one should stay away, but it's hard to tell at this level because today's candle is a bit of a warning. But well, I don't see the stock going down below 185 levels. So I would say keep 185 as a stop loss, buy the stock, and there would be further clarity if we see the stock sustaining about 203, 205. That would give us a trigger of a further upward move towards 210 to 15. So that is how I would trade the stock.
Okay. And there's one other stock as well, Vaishali, Indigo. So on the back of the numbers, if you see, the stock is trading in the green at this point in time. And the profit, if you see, that came in at 188 odd crores, a good set of numbers coming in from Indigo. What do the technical charts suggest?
I would say it's a good buying opportunity. In fact, even buy and decline because 2400 makes a good base. And from here on, I think if the momentum continues and the way the candles are being formed, I think it's ready for a target of 26 to 2700.
Okay, got that. And remember, Shell, we were discussing Bharat Forge as well, and the stock is actually on a roll after the second quarter results. Good set of numbers coming in from Bharat Forge, and we have seen a strong top line growth and operational performance. The stock is up 4%. 1076 is the level, Vaishali. What would you suggest?
Well, in fact, today we have recommended our clients right from the lower levels of 1045 or something. And I think it is ready. So near-term resistance could be at around 1085. But if we see the stock close below, above 1085, I think it's ready to make probably a new high or at least retest the previous high of 1145.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll again pay attention to the options side of the market and now look at the 19400 call on the Nifty. If the PCR can show it to you, the 19400 call at the moment is somewhere in the vicinity of 84.85. The reason why I tell you this is that we are going to have a very, very strong close in the markets today, and you just might see a nice blowout happening tomorrow morning. Given the way stocks have moved. So let's see whether the 19400 call is in front of you or not. Yes, 85, 86 rupees, and again the same feature that we had seen. A nice bout of short covering happening on this particular move. Your view, Vaishali, on how the Nifty is likely to close today?
So I would say, even if you see, I think we've seen a good run up. I would say Nifty should close around at these levels itself. But it is a good positive view for now. So yes, hard to tell because ATR is normally 160, 170, and today it's up by 180 points. So yeah, I mean, I think major run up is taken place.
Absolutely. Days high 19,412 in front of you. And nearly all stocks are contributing very sharply. Remember, we had discussed this potential move somewhere about 10-20 minutes ago, and at that point of time the Nifty 19,300 call was at about 138 rupees. It's screaming up to somewhere like just a moment, 165, or something. Yes, 158, 159. So that's how the thing is. And now, sensibly you look at the 19,400 call, because that is now in the money at about 19,414, which the cash price is at as far as the Nifty is concerned. Very, very strong moves coming in, Tanya. Infosys at day's high 1403. You have HDFC Bank at its day's high. And the other view that I'd like to take from Vaishali is Mahindra and Mahindra. A nice swing trade in the making on the long side. Vaishali, what are the charts for the shorter term telling you about M&M?
So I would totally agree with you, because this particular stock has been underperforming as far as the other stocks like Maruti, Tata Motors. They were in the lead till in the recent past. So now it's time for Mahindra and Mahindra to participate. I think we have seen a good corrective move, consolidated at 1450. So I think the stock can give a bounce back rally up to 1550. So view stays positive. It could be a good buy from here.
Okay, and in the same breath, Tanya, I'd like to point out the 1490 call on Mahindra and Mahindra. This is trading at about 34 rupees 15 paisa, and this needs to be watched out for tomorrow. A fairly strong move coming in on Mahindra and Mahindra in the cash markets, as also in the FNO space. If we can show this one on air, that will be wonderful. It's the 1490 monthly call on Mahindra and Mahindra, right at 34.15. Yes, this is the one to see, up about 5-6% as of now. This is something that can be looked at on the long side. And at the same breath, the Jindal Steel and Power call of 620. You'll see how sharply these ones have moved over the last 2 or 3, 4 or 5 minutes. So that's how options work out. You chase momentum and you exit fairly quickly. What are you watching, Tanya?
I am watching some of these, real estate counters, Shell, and Vaishali, coming to you for that. I mean, some of these counters have been buzzing of late. And look at stocks like Brigade Enterprises, Prestige, Sobha. They're all up in today's trading session and buzzing. So, any picks that you would like to share from the real estate pack?
So I would ask you to look into Suntech Realty, because Suntech still shows a lot of upside potential. Today also we saw a very gradual upward move. It's barely up, I mean, by 0.27%. But chartically, I think it's still well poised for higher targets of around 500, 520 from here on. So Suntech is one of the stocks that we would like to keep in focus. And the other one, of course, in the front line, I still am looking at Godrej Properties, because just last week it gave a breakout, and I would be looking at a target of 2000 levels. So these two are the stocks which I would be liking to keep a watch on.
Okay, absolutely, got that. And we have been discussing about stocks like CDSL, JK Lakshmi, RT Industries. And if you see, RT Industries is up 10% after the second quarter numbers. And CDSL is also up in the trade today, 3% uptick there as well. But first, coming to you, Vaishali, for CDSL. I mean, what do the technical charts suggest for this counter?
So I think this has been the stock since a very long time on everyone's list, and I'm sure
Yes.
it is giving us good return, because once we saw BSE giving us such phenomenal rise, it was CDSL's turn, and today for the first time after a long time we are seeing it move past 1600 levels. So technically, I would say that yes, it's ready to go and retest the previous high. So our projected targets come up to 1700 and higher. So yes, the trend is very bullish, and we maintain a positive bias for a target of 1700 to start with.
Absolutely. And Vaishali, Shell has been pointing out, he pointed out CDSL last week as well, and he pointed out RT Industries in the morning trade. And it's up around 10% after the numbers. What would be your suggestion for RT Industries?
So I would be very happy to share this, that, just on Friday, during the latter part of the day, there was a minute, on a 15-minute chart, there was a buy signal coming in, and we had just, recommended as a trading strategy. And today, to our surprise and a very positive surprise, we saw a good gap up coming in. So now I would say 520 acts as a crucial resistance. Once we see the stock moving above 520, it's ready for 580, 600, and so on. And I think this time it should do that. Why? Because overall, if you see, there is good participation coming in almost all the chemical stocks. So after a very, very long time, this move has taken place. So I would be very hopeful that once we see a decisive move above 520, in all likelihood, we would be getting into a good trend.
Vaishali, I've always maintained you are a lucky mascot, and whenever you come on the screen, it's Lady Luck that shines twice over. So, JK Lakshmi Cement, there's of course Lakshmi in it, therefore it's rising very sharply. Aarti Industries, of course, doing pretty well, and very good calls on M&M. The other stock that I'd like to point out is TCS. What we'll do at the moment is show you a daily chart of TCS, which Vaishali will comment on, and then the PCR will fire the 3400 call of TCS, which is now trading at somewhere like 46 rupees, and this is something that you need to watch out for tomorrow. The reason why I say you have to watch out for tomorrow is because this move is now going to explode most likely tomorrow morning with Infosys, TCS, HDFC Bank, RIL, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank at day's high. So do watch out for Vaishali's view on TCS first. Vaishali, what do you think? What are the charts telling you?
So I would say that yes, it has to be in sync. I mean, we need overall participation and TCS. Let's talk about TCS per se. It has taken support on the 200-day moving average. Chartically, it is in an oversold zone. Its RSI is showing signs of a bounce back coming in. So yes, I totally agree with you that yes, Infosys and TCS should be on the radar. And if I were to buy, I would definitely go for this.
Okay, and this is the right time to show you the 3400 call on TCS, ladies and gentlemen. This is, I think, trading at the moment at 42, 43 rupees. It should come on your screen fairly soon. Do keep an eye out on this particular one because we've seen a lot of compression in the price of TCS over time, and that's how it is most likely to come. If we can see that on air, I'll be very grateful. The TCS 3400 call, ladies and gentlemen, in the PCR, yes, it's now at 46.45, and please keep an eye out on this one. The other call that we had discussed was the Jindal Steel and Power 620 call. You'll see the power of options right in front of you. We had discussed it somewhere like 17 rupees, 18 rupees just a while ago, and at the moment the 620 call is now at 1975, if not better, because Jindal Steel moved fairly strongly in the options in the cash space as of now. So that's yes, it's now at 21 rupees in front of me. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Tanya, what are you watching?
Shell, I think we are discussing large cap IT, but let's discuss mid cap IT stocks as well with Vaishali. So Vaishali, stocks like Birlasoft, KPIT Tech, Persistent Systems, they have been performing really well of late. But would you like to share any picks of yours from the mid cap IT space?
So I would also look at HCL Tech because that is also looking quite positive and should continue with its upward trend. But also look at KPIT Technology, also look at Ascent. All these stocks are looking very positive to me. And when we talk about Birlasoft, I think it's so bullish that it's looking for a target of around 600 and higher. So, I mean, 620 and 650 levels. So I would say that yes, overall the mid cap are outperforming as compared to the front line. So yes, there is a positive view on all these stocks. In fact, why miss out on Tata Elxsi? Look at that stock because it is showing so very positive. I mean, gradually it's moving from 7,200 to 7,800 levels, and I think as a positional trade, I am looking at a target of 9,000 from here on. So yes, it's a very gradual upward moving stock, and I like Tata Elxsi.
Okay, absolutely. Got that. These are the picks that are coming in. And also, let's discuss PSU space as well, Vishali, because we have seen some selective counters from the PSU space, like defense, like from railway as well. These counters have been buzzing off late and they have had a stellar run in the past 6 months. But any picks that you still have from this particular space? I'm talking about PSUs.
Yes, of course. If Cochin Shipyard, one would look at Cochin Shipyard. I mean, today's move, it's looking very positive from here on. I mean, it did a high of 1254, currently at 1,000 levels. And once again, a good bullish candle formation with good volume. So I think the stock is looking very favorable from here on. And one can look at a target of 1100, 1150 from here on. So, Cochin Shipyard. And as far as the rail stocks are concerned, we've just been looking at IRFC and IRCON. They look good to me. IRFC is very well placed with a stop loss of 64. The stock can be looked into for a target of 90. So yes, these two stocks are on my radar.
Okay, absolutely. And I think we should pull up that TCS 3400 call and it's showing short covering. Would you like to take it away, Shell?
Yeah, Tanya, you very rightly pointed out a lot of bears which had shorted the stock are now pulling it out. Remember, we had picked it up somewhere like 42, 43 rupees, and now it's crossed 50 rupees. So that's how options work, and they work in very, very quick momentum. I'm sure we can show it on the screen. Yeah, 49.75 right in front of you. We had picked it at about 42, 43, and this is something that needs to be looked at over the next 5 or 6 minutes or so. But the smart ones are the ones who would now exit it, say at about 328, 326. But that's how momentum is trapped as far as options are concerned. You see a price of 34.06, and you would have seen it sort of change color and change price immediately on the screen itself. I'm sure it's not just 49.49, 49.90. It's changing at the back end, and you'll see the correct price right in front of you. So M&M 1490 call, TCS 3400 call, Jindal Steel we'll see the 620 call tomorrow morning, and at the moment in the futures market TCS has crossed 3400. So that's how the momentum is. Nifty is ending at its day's high 19,416. Fairly sharp move coming in, 181 points. It is moved the bank Nifty 300 points higher, 43,690, and every single index heavyweight stock has contributed on this very fine Monday trading, whether it's HDFC Bank, Infosys, whether it's Reliance Industries or ICICI Bank or Axis Bank or State Bank of India, ending at day's high as far as markets are concerned. And that's how the move is right in front of you, Tanya. A good day to start FNO.
Absolutely, Shell, bang on. And I think talking about some other stocks, Vaishali, I would like to discuss Steel Authority of India Limited as well. The stock is among the top gainers from the metals pack today. And what do the technical charts now suggest for Steel Authority of India?
You just read my mind, and I was just going to suggest that if you were to ask me, I was going to recommend, say, Steel Authority of India and NALCO, because they are the PSU counters, and they have not really participated. So I think it is in for a good up move. I would, in fact, we have recommended all our clients right from 85 levels with a stop loss of 83. Currently, we are seeing 87 level. So I would say that yes, it makes a good positional trade for a target of 90.
Okay, and what about NALCO, Vaishali? What would
so
be
NALCO, yes, so see, we saw the logic being we saw good upward move coming in Hindalco. In the metal category, Hindalco took the lead, and now it's NALCO, which should also follow. And it has hardly shown any movement so far. So I would say that yes, 88.90 is the good support line. And well, as a good positional trade, I would look at a target of 104. So we are at 95. It is a buy.
Okay, absolutely. And I think we should pull up 19,400 call of Nifty. It's at day's high. And I think Shell, what a phenomenal day to start the FNO show, right?
Right, Tanya. I think, like I said, Vaishali is our lucky mascot. And when you have two
Absolutely.
wonderful ladies on the screen, Lakshmi will follow suit, and it has. So, a wonderful day as far as markets are concerned. Let's just wrap the show. 180 points higher, 19,410 in front of you as far as Nifty is concerned. The day's high in front of us, the Nifty Bank 43,620, 301 points higher, and every single index heavyweight stock is now contributing to this very sharp rally that you see in the markets. Infosys, Reliance Industries, TCS, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and of course HDFC Bank ending at day's high. Keep an eye out for 19,400 call tomorrow morning. We caught it fairly early, and that's how the markets are wrapped up. Ladies and gentlemen, over to you, Tanya.
Absolutely, Shell, and thank you so much, Vaishali, for taking the time out and being with us here on Business Today Television. Always a pleasure to host you.
Thank you, and likewise. And I hope I continue bringing in luck to you.
Absolutely, Vaishali. We also look forward to that. Okay, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to wrap up this special episode of Market Today. But lots more coming up for you, so stay tuned, and many thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I am Siddharth Zarabi, and with me now is Rajneesh Karnatak, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of India. Welcome to the show, Mr. Karnatak. A strong set of numbers delivered over the weekend for the September quarter. Take us through the key highlights.